If you enjoy this podcast, then be sure to check out Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, where you can get your daily dose of farm wisdom. Tune in every day to learn the latest tips, tricks, and stories from the world of farming. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just getting started, our podcast has something for everyone. Join us as we explore topics like farm business, crop planning, soil management, and tools and technology. Start your day off right with Farm Small, Farm Smart Daily, available on all major podcast platforms. Don't miss out. Subscribe today. And one thing I've been thinking about lately, is there anything new that you've came across in the recent past that's really changed your view on soil or just blown your mind?
Recently, we've been looking into the roles and functions of soil micro and macroarthropods a little bit more deeply. We've always just had the attitude that macroarthropods were predators, and that's really the only benefit they give to the soil food web. But that's not true. When we started delving a little bit deeper, there are probably more like 7 very important functions that microarthropods do. Just like, people used to think that all nematodes were bad guys. They were all root feeders. They were just, if you saw a nematode, it was like, oh no, go and get the toxic chemical because you've got nematodes. Oh my gosh. And
Right.
For fungi, they have the same attitude. The only good fungus is a dead fungus. And that's absolutely not true either. So as we have started looking deeper into the roles and functions of soil microarthropods, they've got protective functions of the roots and the above ground part of the plant. They have their role in nutrient cycling, where they are consuming the bacteria and or fungi, more likely the fungi, and they're releasing nutrients in the form that the plant needs to take up. They also have a role and a function in forming the aggregates within the soil, those organo-mineral coated or organic coated mineral particles that are slowly but surely chewing away on the mineral particle and releasing nutrients. So microarthropods, we've only begun to stick them into all the different roles and functions that they play in the soil. It's not just that they eat stuff. There's all these other functions. And so give us a year or two to really work on that, and we're going to be publishing a whole nother chapter in the story about the soil food web. Yeah.
For people who aren't familiar, what are microarthropods?
So microarthropods are things like springtails or batted mites. Some of the bad guys like the red spider mites, and so there's the good and there's the bad. How do you manage your agricultural ecosystems so you're selecting for the good guys that will help plants grow versus the bad guys who are messages from Mother Nature saying to you, bad human being, you haven't been keeping your soil healthy. These bad guys are messengers to say, better pay attention, because if you ignore Mother Nature, what's going to happen? She's just going to send a nastier pest, a nastier disease-causing organism. And if you don't pay attention to that, she's going to send something even worse. So you better pay attention at the first message from Mother Nature. This is what that means. What is it I'm doing wrong? And what do I need to put back into my soil to reestablish that condition of health?
If you're missing some of those microarthropods in your soil, what's the cause of that? Is that due to some of the same reasons why you might feel heavy weed pressure in a soil, just a bacterial fungal imbalance, or the right materials aren't present in the soil? Why are the microarthropods missing?
Yep, same reasons apply, and you've got to now figure out which one. So you've got that whole phalanx of possible problems. What does it mean? And you've got to figure out what's gone wrong, because then you know what to fix. So that's why sending a sample or learning to do your own microscope work is so critical, because we've got a tool that's going to immediately tell you what's wrong. And that leads right to, how do I fix this? So now you've got to find a composter, you've got to find a tea or an extract or something that will put those organisms back into the soil, so inoculation. And then you want to promote the habitat that allows them to be the winners and still be there over time. So now we've got to look at, is your soil aerobic? Is water filtering into that soil correctly? Where's that compaction zone? Yep, that's what we've got to do. We got to get rid of that, or all the many different things that could be wrong with that soil. We want to figure out the cause of the problems. And that's, the chemical world looks at symptoms and tries to kill the symptom. Well, that doesn't solve the problem at all. We need to figure out what's the cause and fix that problem.
Hello, growers. Protect your crops from harmful insects with Modern Growers Insectinet. This top-tier insect netting made by Modern Grower shields your plants from pests and harsh weather, boosting your yields without harmful sprays. Insectinet's unique design allows 90% of the light to pass through and is easy to use with low tunnel systems like our Quick Hoops. It's soft, elastic, and durable, perfect for field use to help ensure that your crops thrive. Say goodbye to pest damage and hello to healthier, market-ready produce. Invest in Insectinet and see the difference it makes. Get Insectinet at shop.moderngrower.co or using the link below.